Hello, and welcome to another segment of the Veterans History Project, Library of Congress. My name is Brian Neto, and the date is 25 April 2004. Our format today will be a little bit different than usual. We'll be talking to two friends and neighbors, who have for some time now been exchanging stories about their wartime experiences. It seems, however, that they have very contrasting types of stories to tell. Frank Elliott was stationed in England and various parts of Europe as an Army engineer. Lou Cusano, on the other hand, was in the Asian theater and participated in what is now known as the Bataan Death March. So, without further ado, let's begin our three-way conversation. First of all, Mr. Elliott, I'd like to apologize for referring to you by the name Frank, which is your given first name, but as I understand it, everybody calls you by your middle name, Jeff.
Jeff.
Yeah, it's kind of a family identification thing.
That's true.
And Lou, I think I got you correct, Mr. Lou Cusano.
Yeah, well, you know, my middle name is George, but they go down in Connecticut, they call me Gigi. Gigi, G-I-G-I. If I hear somebody called Gigi, I know they're from old friends from Connecticut.
All right. So,
Yeah.
but I'll have to call you Lou because
Lou.
we just met today.
Yeah, just call me Lou.
Now, you guys are neighbors, as I understand it.
Yeah, for
Let
20
me find
years
out
we've
just
been-
how close are you? How many houses down from each
Right
other?
across the
We're
road.
right across the road.
Well, that's pretty darn
Well, the
close.
road, how far?
For
is
how
the
many
road?
years? How many years have you
About
been
20.
neighbors?
About 20 years we've been together. And every Saturday we go to breakfast.
Okay.
Sometimes I pay, sometimes he does.
Uh-huh.
I have to leave a tip. He leaves a tip.
Yeah. Do you keep a record of that to make
Oh,
sure
yeah.
it's even?
Make sure we're even.
Now, during these breakfast sessions, do you guys ever exchange war stories?
Sometimes, not very often.
Yeah. It's not a big deal anymore.
No.
Uh-huh. But over the years, there have been a few stories.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys had slightly different kinds of experience in the military. To begin with, I think you had different MOs. You, I believe, Lou, had been a mechanic, an aircraft mechanic. What was your specialty?
Well, I was going special in props, you know, but I never did get to do it.
Uh-huh.
I never got to do it
And the reason was?
because they shipped our outfit over to the Philippines, see? And
What field did you set up at in the
up in
Philippines?
Clark Field.
Clark Field.
In Clark Field.
And what was the name of your
B-17.
unit there, sir?
My unit was B-17,
Uh-huh.
16 Bomb Squadron.
Yep.
And we were the B-17, 27 Bomb Group. That's
Okay.
right,
About
the
how many
27
B-17s did you have at your field?
Oh, yeah, I had quite a few of them.
Uh-huh.
I remember they were lined up now. But I know I just had that special one was mine.
Yeah.
I had to make sure I washed it. And then they told me to go get some prop wash. You
Yes.
know? You ever hear of prop
Never
wash?
heard of it.
Never
I
heard.
thought that was a phenomenon called while the propeller was turning.
Yeah.
The prop wash
Well, see,
was an air
if I was a
phenomenon.
recruit, you had to run to that guy
Yeah.
and tell him, hey, I need some prop wash. They say, well, go to that guy, he's got some prop wash. There was no such
How long did they get away with that joke?
Not long after I found out about that.
I should have not. I should. And you, Jeff, what was your specialty?
I believe it was an old 45 truck driver. That's what I got into it, not long. You want to hear the story about that one?
If you think it's important, let's
I think it's
go.
very important because it shows how the Army works. This one night, not long after payday, we were down at the PX, and the PX was a one-story building, and it was kind of up off the ground on the back and right even with the street on the front. And the guy that had to do with getting the people in the motor pool was Corporal Kirk. And I was just a yard bird at the time, so again, to make a long story short, I knew Corporal Kirk, and I grabbed a case of beer and went under the PX in the back and sat down under there with Corporal Kirk. And after we drank that case of beer, I come out in the motor pool.
The two of you drank a case of beer.
Yeah. And I come out, being invited into the motor pool because of my mechanical background and driving
And your
experience.
ability to requisition certain liquid assets.
Yes, I was good at that too.
What was the best thing, the most important thing that you did that you can recall while you were in the military? Jeff, are you real proud of having accomplished something that made a difference at the time?
Well, about, I guess it'd be the 17th or 18th of December 1943. That was just before the breakthrough. That was when the breakthrough, early in the breakthrough, when the breakthrough come on. You know, I was driving a Jeep at the time, and so they said, Elliott, we got to take the machine guns and bazookas into Malmedy. So, would you want to do it?
Malmedy,
Sure.
France.
Malmedy, Belgium.
Belgium, excuse me.
That's-
Okay.
I said, that's what I come over here for, to fight the war, you know.
Well, pardon my geography.
I'm laying it on them, you know.
Yeah.
And so the officer, I drove for, I guess he was the first lieutenant then, and he was unloading the Jeep, and I let him, see? Because he was so good at it, I figured I'd just let him go ahead and unload the Jeep. I got a hold of the machine guns that we had there and put in, and I went to the different squads in the thing and got their machine guns and bazookas and one thing and another. We had a Jeep full, and it got done. And a fellow named Red Richardson from Rochester, New York, he and I, this was in Vermont, is where we were at it, and we're very famous later on. And so we went down into Trapont, into, Lord, I can't think of the name of those little towns down through there. Anyhow, we got into Malmedy. Before we got into Malmedy, we were just outside of Trapont, and here's a blue light coming. No lights on the vehicles, I understand. And nobody using blue lights. So I said, somebody's coming, Rich. So he got his gun stuck out right across me here, and I had a submachine gun. I'm sitting there like that and go. And the other Jeep, another Jeep pulled up, and it would have been devastating. I mean, I still think they were Germans. In fact, I'm sure they were Germans. But the driver could speak good English as you and I. And where are you going? Oh, I'm just going down here ways. Where are you going? Just over here, Trapont. And I said, okay. Later, we take off and goes. They took off and goes. There were four in their Jeep. Only Richardson and I and this one, but we were flat ready for them. So, stable lot, that's where we went. And then into stable lot. And when I went into the stable lot, I could hear tanks running on the next street over from where I was. And Lord knows whose tanks they were, but I'm pretty sure. And so we went up the hill through the gas dump, down the other side, down into Malmedy, and met the battalion colonel down there, and delivered the bazookas and machine guns. And he said, you fellas want to stay? Because it may get tied up on the hill. And I said, no, I know my way back. So Red and I took off, and over there, we didn't go up through the gas dump this time. We come around the long way and under the bridge to stable lot, and there were still tanks running in stable lot when we came through. Back into Trapont, across the bridges, everything was
Our
intact.
tanks are German tanks.
German tanks.
Yes.
And across the bridges in Trapont, back up on the hill to Vermont. I was proud of that little deal.
So they got some arms from you and
Yeah.
your buddies right when they needed them the worst.
They sure did.
And I guess I can assume the battle went well after you made that delivery.
Well, parts of A Company, which I was part of, was in there at that time, because we had some boys killed from our outfit in there. And B Company was in there, and some of C Company
Yeah.
was in Malmedy. And then, well, this is beside the point, but then they come over with A-20s to soften us up.
Yep, I know those.
So the A-20s come over and softened us up and half knocked the town down.
The Havoc, yeah.
The A-20 Havocs, yeah.
Okay, good.
They half knocked the town down.
Yeah, you're lucky if you only kill one or two of your own and get mostly the other guy.
Well, there wasn't no other guys there, because we had them all out of there, see?
Incredible. That's a pretty good story, don't you think?
Yes, sir.
I'll bet you can do just that well, maybe a little bit better.
He can do bad, man.
Tell us about the day that you
I got
spent.
diarrhea. I know I had diarrhea. I was in the zero ward. They
Yeah,
called it the zero ward.
the Zero Ward.
Yeah. Well, that was in Cabana, Tawana.
Yeah.
You know, after the death march.
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, I didn't tell you about the death march.
You want to start with that?
Yeah.
You were in the Baton, vicinity of
yeah,
Baton.
yeah.
You were defending an airstrip.
Right. We built even revetments.
Yeah.
If a plane came in at P-40,
Yeah.
we'd have to get out and pull them into and put them underneath the revetments so
Uh-huh.
they couldn't see them from on top, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I'd be up on top there sometimes when they'd be coming over.
Yeah.
And you'd have to lay down and they'd be machine gunning us too.
Okay.
Lucky I never got hit. But one of my buddies,
You just went as flat with the ground as you
Yeah.
could then.
then I was going to go into the jungle looking for the Jap too. And they tied themselves on these trees up there with the machine, with a rifle. They had long rifles. They weren't like IM1s. you know.
Right.
They had long rifles, you know. But this one guy, White, his name was, he got shot right through the eye. Lost his eye. Right through
But he
the eye.
survived it.
He survived, yeah, because they had a little hospital
Yeah.
for us. And they had the nurses. We had Navy nurses, 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
They were dressed in coveralls.
Yeah. Did you have a weapon of your own during this time?
What's that shit?
What was your weapon while you were there?
Well, I had a rifle, and then I had the ammunition, and I had a 45, and then
How long did you hold out before the Japanese overcame you, overwhelmed you?
Well, we held out. I don't know. It wasn't too long because here comes this general.
Yeah.
That said we have to retreat to Bataan.
Okay.
We have to retreat altogether. The Japanese have surrounded us. General MacArthur already had left and left General Wainwright, but his guns were shooting out to the ships out there. They couldn't turn around.
Yeah.
Now the 200 Coast Artillery that were from Mexico and Texas, they had anti-aircrafts, you know, so they were holding up. So
then you
took-
got orders to go as a group.
they were going to go surrender. Well, I got with 4 guys. We said, hell, we're going to go in the jungles. The hell with them.
Okay.
You know?
Become guerrilla fighters.
Yeah. And some of the Filipinos got away. The 31st Infantry
Uh-huh.
were mostly Filipino.
Yes.
They were some of the best fighters, too.
So you fought alongside the Filipinos.
Yeah. No, so I went in the jungle. I didn't stay long, though, because here we found some more killed right there. Then we found another group killed. And this one guy said to me, let's go back to where we were. They had all these white sheets out on there where we're going to surrender, you know?
Yes.
And here comes the Japanese dropping bombs at us.
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to be surrendering, you know? And finally that night, the Japanese came in. And all you could hear was, go down, you know, Japanese. And we didn't know what the heck they were talking about. But now I know how to talk. Ichi, ni, san, si, go, roku, sichi, hachi, ku, ju.
Mm-hmm.
I can count up to 1,000. My number was Nanahaku. They gave us a number. Nanahaka Juku.
So do you still speak conversational Japanese?
Oh.
If I were Japanese, would you be able to order at my restaurant?
Yeah, I'd say, hey, anata shigoto taksan, watashi,
Mm-hmm.
watashi, let me say, dami. I'll say, you dami, I'd like to kick you. You know.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. How long was the death march? How long were you on the road? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't know, the second, third day, they had trucks lined up, you know, on the
Yeah.
road.
Yeah.
And if you fell off the side, the road, they'd bayonet you, shoot you. You know, you couldn't help your buddies.
Every last one?
Huh?
Every last one?
And anyone that
Any straggler?
Yeah. So I kept going, and I was in a ditch, and this major picked me up. I can tell he was a major. He had a gold emblem on his thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a helmet anymore. See, they took our helmets too.
So did that major save your life?
That major saved my life. Yeah. He dragged me,
Yeah.
and then he'd have to let go of me. Then another one. Oh, like I say, the guys on the top on the truck, they're the ones that batted the guys down, you know,
Yeah.
and knock you down. And then I couldn't remember a lot of times, and I ended up in this place they call O'Donnell, Camp O'Donnell,
Camp
or
O'Donnell.
Camp Cabana Tawan,
Uh-huh.
and I was eating sugar cane to
Yeah.
try and get something to eat.
Well,
you
you're
know.
pretty weak when you got there. How did you regain your strength?
Yeah, I was crawling, you might as well say.
Yeah. No.
And they stopped putting us in these straw shacks, you know, 10 to 5 down here
Yeah.
and 5 up here. Then 18 inches per man. You crawled in one way, another one crawled that way, you know. That's and one night they burned them. There was
They
a
burned
fire.
the shacks?
Yeah, and I was up on top, and I fell out the back way and rolled. I still got.
You got lucky again, though. I mean, you could have been burned to death.
I got burns
Yeah.
under my arms
Yeah.
yet and strained in there.
Okay.
And I lucky they didn't kill me then.
So you were a prisoner of war for about 3.5, 4 years?
Yeah, 3.5
Three and a
years
half.
and 15 days.
Uh-huh. Did you ever encounter a Japanese officer or non-com that showed you an act of kindness during that time?
Well, let me
Did
tell
any of
you,
them treat you nice?
2 years that I was in Japan,
Yeah.
in the Philippines,
Yeah.
they were all where the boats were,
Yeah.
and they put us in a hole, down in a hole, and there was 3 big 50-gallon drums there. I got up against the bulkhead of me.
Okay.
Then they put 300 and something of us in a group. We didn't know where we were going.
Uh-huh.
And they put us on this old big barge. It was a big barge by the way over here. Once a day they passed down some barley. And you're lucky to get some. But if you had to go to the bathroom, you had to go way out there to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
And a lot of guys had diarrhea and things. And
Yes.
you'd hear them say, shoulda coming through, and boy, you better get out of their way.
Okay.
Yeah, you had to
I
get out.
would.
I stayed right over there.
Uh-huh.
Then finally one day, the Japanese, we didn't know, we heard them, you know, bombing and things. We didn't
Yeah.
know what they were doing. They opened up and they were getting us out. And it looked like heaven. This blue skies, you know, and things. And they took us out and they brought us to, put us on a train. Yeah, they put us on a train and took us to Yokohama.
Yokohama, Japan.
Yeah.
And was that where you did your work in the mines?
Well, yeah, then they separated us.
Yeah.
And I went to the copper mines
Okay.
way up on Sendai. they
Was your
call it.
treatment worse,
Sen-
better, or about the same when you got
Oh,
to the mines?
They were, like you say, there was one old man,
Yeah.
he'd always try to treat me good,
Oh, really?
really, yeah.
That's good to hear. Some
Right.
humanity there.
But if the other Jap ever caught him, they beat the hell out of him. That's the worst part of it. They
Yeah.
were afraid to try to treat you good,
Uh-huh.
you know?
So there was no love lost between you and the Japanese people, I guess, toward the end of that war.
No, I'd
No.
kill everyone if I could see them.
Uh-huh,
I would.
for sure.
That's why I don't go to Disney World,
Yeah.
because, you know, or the Hawaii there.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of Hawaiian. One Hawaiian was a the interpreter.
Yeah.
And he got a lot of us killed. He'd report to the Japanese that guy was going to escape.
Oh, he was an informer, in other words.
Yeah, then
see.
they'd killed that guy.
Yeah. That's a damn
And he
shame.
said he was going back to Hawaii. He was
Yeah.
he was a school teacher in Hawaii, he said.
Oh, boy. Let me ask you this. If I ask Jeff what his attitude was toward his enemy, do you think I'll hear a different story? Let's check with Jeff and see what he has to say. Okay, just a minute. How about it? I can understand, of course, that Lou would have been pretty bitter because of the very vicious treatment, subhuman treatment that he received. But I guess you were never captured.
No,
What was your attitude toward the Germans then?
my attitude towards the Germans, it hasn't changed any in all these years.
Yeah.
They stole 3 years out of my life with their messing around.
Uh-huh.
I could use them 3 years. I'm 80 years old right now. I could use those 3 years now, you know? I don't,
What was it, the average did you ever encounter any German soldiers, perhaps POWs? Did you ever get to know any of them? Or were they all always on the other side of the hill?
they were on the other side of the hill. We didn't try to befriend them or anything like that. The civilians, I met a lot of civilians that were decent, and
Yeah.
we fed a lot of civilians. The big shots over there weren't allowed to shoot deer, and the country was overrun with deer. And of course, that you put an old farm boy out in a deer hunt, man, and with a rifle in his hand, and we shot a lot of deer. I killed probably 21 deer.
And who ate the deer? You
Well,
shot it,
we
and
ate the
then,
good parts out of the deer, and we gave the good parts to the German civilians.
They got the
And they were
leftovers.
happy to do it. 'Cause the deer ate,
They probably got the stew material.
well,
then.
the deer ate their gardens.
Okay.
You know, so they couldn't grow any crops, or, couldn't grow any crops like
Makes
garden
sense.
stuff.
Yeah, makes sense.
They were tickled to have us do it.
What were you doing on VE Day when the end was decided? Do you remember where you were and
That
how
was
you
in
celebrated?
Warrensdorf.
Warrensdorf, Germany?
Warrensdorf, Bavaria,
Bavaria, okay.
yeah.
Foothills of the Alps?
It was, yeah, kinda, but it was still flat country there. It was
Yeah.
farming country there.
Uh-huh.
And the
How did you
road
get
through
the
town
word?
was a dirt road.
Yeah. What were you doing there and how did you get the word?
We were just camped out there, waiting for something to do. They hadn't given us anything to do in a few days.
Right.
I don't know.
And the word came in how?
The word came in, and I don't even know how it got there.
Probably a radio operator or a messenger?
Probably.
Okay.
And they said the war's over, and we said, good.
Yeah, yeah. No big eruption of joy or celebration, just good.
No, nothing.
Did you feel a sense of relaxation? come
Off
over you?
east of us, the artillery quit. That's how we could tell they were serious about it. We could hear, we could hear artillery from where we were, and
Yeah.
the artillery quit, and so
Yeah.
we knew it was over then.
How about you, Lou? When VJ Day came, what were you doing and how did you learn?
Well, the only thing I remember how it was over, all of a sudden the guards disappeared. We used to have to go out and bow down to the guards, and say Ohio, Godaimasu. Ohio was the easiest word to say, It's
Sure
like
was.
Ohio, and you bow down. And if you didn't, you had to bow down with your hand stiff.
Yes.
Our is like this, our attention. Their
Okay.
attention is like that. And then, boy, you better have it.
What does Ohio mean?
Huh? Good morning, good day, or
Yes.
something, good day, or something, And one day I come out and I didn't like this garden. And I said, Ohio, or Matsuzora. He says, Nanika? And I mean, what you say? Nanika? And I had to do it all over again. Ohio, go down Mass. And he knew I didn't say it right. He come to me with his fist and thing, and the rifle butt beat the hell out of me. It's a wonder he didn't bayonet me.
You must be a pretty tough guy, Lou. You
Well-
took a lot of punishment and came
you
through it
know,
all.
you know what Omatsu's order was?
No.
His sister's ass.
Oh, well.
See, and Italian.
Oh,
That's why
my
he didn't-
goodness. You're a
That's
risk
the truth.
taker.
That is the truth.
You like to push the envelope.
Yeah,
Contrary,
and
that one.
my friends dragged me back into the dice. But when when they all disappeared, I was
Yes.
gonna kill one guy. I hate him, the rat.
Uh-huh.
He used to walk
That was
around.
his nickname?
We called him the rat. He had a cane. He had it drilled out, burned out, and he had it filled with lead with a
Yeah.
steel cap. And he used to get your attention. And he killed one guy from New York. I
Yeah.
remember. He told me he was going out for the Yanks. Can't think. He cut his ears right off. He tried to cut your ears off.
Uh-huh.
The thing did. When I came in a room one time, they used to give us a little rice to go up to the mine,
Sure.
you know?
Sure.
He'd stand behind there. He hit me on the head. He hit me so hard, the thing broke. See, I got a hard head. The Italians have hard heads.
I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me. Remind me never to butt heads with an Italian.
Oh boy, was he mad.
So one morning, suddenly, they
Yeah.
weren't there. They were
They were
gone.
gone. Yeah, they were gone. And here comes a truck, and here comes the Navy. The Navy.
The U.S.
So-
Navy?
They were U.S. Navy. The biggest guys I ever saw. I'm telling you, and they
Of course,
had
everybody was bigger than you by that time, yeah.
and they had food for us too. These rations and
Uh-huh.
stuff. Oh boy! And we didn't even know there was a Navy ship not far from us, and that's where they took us, put us in this Navy ship, and
Good.
took it to a hospital.
A couple of days and
in
you were on your
Manila.
way back?
We're in the Manila
Okay.
hospital, and then the hospital down in San Francisco.
Okay. About how long do you reckon it took you to get back to the state of health that you had before you became a POW? About how long?
Oh, about a couple of years or more.
Couple of years?
Yeah.
So you were in
Yeah.
military hospitals the whole time?
Yeah, most of the time. They sent me down in Coral Gables, Florida. I was in Air Force, Florida. I was in Air Force Hospital. Used
Yeah.
to be a hotel,
Uh-huh.
the hotel there. And I worked out again, because I used to box in the Air Corps, in the peacetime.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, I did. And I never smoked.
Uh-huh.
I never drank whiskey, or,
All right.
and I still don't smoke or drink hard
Uh-huh.
liquor, right, Chief?
Right.
Don't you? He used to
So
make,
what do you do for fun?
He used to make beer. Remember when he used to make beer? And then he had a lot
Yeah.
of friends. After he gave it up, he don't have any friends anymore.
So that's why he stuck with you, I guess.
Right.
I don't think.
When were you discharged from the service, Lou?
Oh, I got out. I figured I'd better get out.
So was that 46, 47? What year would that have been?
48,
40,
47,
47 or 48? Okay.
yes.
And then you went into civilian life as a what?
Well, I thought I'd like to be outside, and they say that there was openings for post office carriers.
Sounds
So
good.
I went and took the exam for a letter carrier. I told them I wanted to be outside. I didn't want to be enclosed.
Yeah.
I can't be enclosed, you know. That's being like, I've been enclosed enough, I told them.
I guess so. Uh-huh. And you got the job
And I
and
got a job as a letter carrier.
pretty good work?
And I worked about 10 years with them anyway.
Uh-huh.
With,
Yeah. I think if Lou Cusano was coming down the sidewalk with my letter, by golly, I'm going to get that letter.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
High
Oh,
water.
he's serious about it.
And what did
Yeah.
you do after the service, Jeff?
I was a half-baked mechanic before I went in, and I went back in the garage business again.
Uh-huh.
Went to school under GI Bill, mechanic
Were
school.
you still half baked, or did you get fully baked?
No,
at
I
that
got
time?
fully baked before I got done.
Good.
And I was up until,
You fixed automobiles or
Yes.
what? Uh-huh.
and I ended up working for Chevrolet Garage. And in '63, I belonged to Union, and I don't know, I forget how I got into that, but anyhow, I was a shop steward for the union, in the Chevrolet garage.
You had a pretty good contract back then, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
we had a pretty good deal, 50-50 pay, and,
Yeah.
we did pretty well. And I wasn't happy with that job at all, so I was talking with the union about it, and they said, what do you wanna do? And I said, Lord, I don't know, I wanna do anything but what I'm doing. So they said, how about a school teaching job? And I said, well, I don't know. It sounds challenging anyhow, let's take a whack at it. So, again, to make a long story short, I applied for the school teaching job and got it, with the
Did you
provision
teach
that I,
shop? Did you teach shop?
But that's,
automotive shop, yeah.
Okay.
And this goes on for a number of years, but I had to go to night classes for years and years and years and years to make this thing permanent. In the meantime, in '64, I took the family and we went to Florida for the summer. The federal project that I was teaching under, I was teaching adults, and the federal project folded. And it hadn't been refunded yet. So when I come back, I spent a month in Florida, and when we come back, it still hadn't been funded. So I said, nuts. So we sold the camp, sold the house, and come to Florida. I got here and they were just starting that same JFK funded program, MDTA, Manpower Development Training Act
Yep.
program here in Florida. So I got in on the ground floor of that and went to work for the school system in Sanford and taught for them for a couple of years. Then they run out of money. I went back to Haney Chevrolet in Orlando for a couple of years. And the school system called me up and said, we've got some permanent positions here in the high schools, would you be interested? And I said, yes. I went back to the high schools for about half pay. At that time, I had 6 little kids beating on the plate, you know, so I had to work 2 jobs in order to get enough money to keep them fed. And,
tell me about your Studebakers. He used to build
I
Studebakers.
built Studebakers on the side. That was,
Yeah.
that was a fun project. So I stayed in the school system until I retired in
That was a beautiful
'87.
car.
I retired in '87
'87?
out of the school system.
When did you finally hang it up?
When I was 55 years old, I said, hell, I'm gonna quit.
Sounds like me.
Huh?
Sounds like me. I
55.
retired at 55.
I said, I'm
91st.
retired.
We really got around. We didn't come in, we weighed the short Normandy.
D-Day plus.
Plus maybe the 14th, something like that, when we weighed the short. But I was up to my belly in water in a Jeep. See, we did an awful lot of things and got in an awful lot of places. And the Battle of the Bulge, I think, was one of our shining experiences. And the bridge across the Rhine River, we built the first bridge ever across the Rhine River.
Yeah, you told me about that bridge.
1,081 feet, I believe it was. And they were shooting at us all the time we were doing it.
Was that a pontoon bridge?
Floating treadway.
Okay. Which is different than pontoon?
Well, it's got, rather than just a little boat that the bridge goes on, it's got blowed up, what do you call them?
Okay.
I can't think what you call them, but anyhow.
Is it
a pontoon.
an inflated
Inflated.
device?
These are inflated, yes.
Okay.
So the steel treads run on this bridge.
That has to be a tricky business because you've got the current to contend with, to say
Oh, boy.
nothing about the Germans.
That's right. So you can see there, we got around a lot, and we're probably one of the most highly decorated combat engineer outfits.
Really? In addition to bridges, didn't you build other structures and other infrastructures that helped get the other guys moving?
Mostly bridges
Uh-huh.
and roads. We built past some roads and one thing
Okay.
and another when we weren't doing anything else, but it was mostly bridge work.
Mhm.
We get down the Autobahn there, and they blow every bridge on the Autobahn. So we come along, build another one right on top of whatever was there. So they
First
use
clear
the
out the
Autobahn.
debris from the other bridge
Yep.
and then get to it. Uh-huh.
And build a wooden temporary bridge
Mhm.
on top of that.
That is a proud tradition and one that you can look to with your own personal pride, in addition, of course, to the story
Oh, yes.
about how you furnished that unit with the machine guns and bazookas, was it?
Yes.
When they needed them so badly. Did I forget to ask, you were
This-
gonna say?
Yeah. This outfit, this plaque, this is a copy of the plaque that's in Fort Leonard Wood.
Uh-huh.
And about 5 or 6, 7 years ago, this Colonel Peregrine presented Fort Leonard Wood one of these plaques. It's about that big.
What was it like the day that you came off your landing craft onto the beach? Just, that was D-Day plus 14. What did it look like, sound like, smell like? What were the guys saying? Well,
There was torn up equipment everywhere. I mean, torn up equipment. We come up there and we drove in the LST, and they opened the front and dropped, pick you down so you could drive off the thing. And we looked over the boat next to us, another
a
one,
lot of people don't know what LST stands for.
landing ship tank.
There you go.
They could carry tanks or trucks or loaded trucks, whatever.
Pretty big landing.
Pretty good
park.
size,
Uh-huh.
pretty good size rig.
Yep.
We looked over the one next door, and here comes a half track out of that one next door, and the water was real deep, right out of sight. Half track, people, everything, right out of sight. And we thought, oh, please don't have it like that here. But we got out, and I was in a Jeep, and I was in about this deep
Uh-huh.
when I come out.
But the Jeep was still,
Oh,
doing
we had
okay?
waterproofed the Jeeps.
Okay, you had the high
And
exhaust?
we had high snorkel on the thing,
Okay.
and high exhaust on the thing.
Gotcha.
And we did that in England the last couple of days before the
That was one of the,
invasion.
presumably that was one of the lessons learned from D-Day.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't learned from D-Day because we had done this before D-Day.
Yeah,
Because we sat in those camps down there for pretty near 2 weeks.
okay. And
Before
have
they
you
told us to go.
participated in any of those practices leading up to D-Day? Any of
Oh,
those,
yeah. We worked all the time we were in England.
Yeah.
But they flipped the coin to see who won, who went
Uh-huh.
first. Well, there also another engineer outfit. They won, can you imagine? They won. They went D-Day.
Lucky guys, yeah.
Yeah, we lost.
By any chance, were you part of that exercise where the E-boats attacked the practice flotilla?
No.
You weren't in on that one?
No.
Fortunately, that was a
Fortunately.
mess. That was a real mess.
Yeah. We were building camps. That's one thing we did, I got there in
Yeah.
October 43.
Yeah.
Yeah, October 43. And we built several different camps. One for storing oil and petroleum and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, and another one for personnel.
Uh-huh.
We built the camp from a field, to a finished product, the Neeson huts and the,
Did you ever hear what the British men were saying about the Yanks?
oversexed, overpaid, and over here.
Oversexed, overpaid, and over here,
Mhm.
and that was their problem.
Right.
Did you have anything that you said back to them?
No, we did tangle one time with a bunch of limey Marines in
Uh-huh.
Plymouth. And we had a battle with them.
Uh-oh.
We did have a battle.
Well, I heard one, and tell me if it's true. I heard that some of the GIs said, well, the thing with the limeys is they're undersexed, they're underpaid, and worst of all, they're under Montgomery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they didn't, the GIs didn't like Montgomery
When
at all.
when you were initially captured
Yeah.
by the Japanese,
Yeah.
and just before the death march began, did they put you into different groups and categories according to whether you were American, Filipino, female, or male? Did they do anything like that?
No, we were all Americans there.
Okay.
The Filipinos were by themselves.
Yeah.
And the nurses, they send them over to Corregidor with the fort. They had a hospital over there. They send the nurses over there.
So they were supporting the guys that were still defending
yeah, they were
Corregidor.
still defending. them.
Corregidor held out how much
Right.
longer?
Oh, they surrendered maybe a month later or something.
Sounds right.
And, yeah, and I think they just brought them over and threw them off the ship and let them walk. They didn't give them like
Yeah.
us, walk the death march.
Yes.
That
So they
was
got out of
mostly-
it, but they
yeah,
had their
it was
own
mostly
problems.
Marines.
Yeah.
Marines and Navy guys there,
Mhm.
and the nurses were all there too.
Yeah.
They called the nurses. What do they call them now? They have a name for those nurses.
Anybody here can help us? A name for the nurse? Did the Japanese have a name for, is that what you mean?
No, the Americans.
Or the Americans
call
had a
them,
name
yeah.
for the nurses?
Yeah, because
Well,
when
I
we
would
go to
call them an
con-
angel, I
when
would
we-
call her an angel, or she helped
When we
me.
go to conventions, and I haven't been going.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the angels, they call them.
Did they?
They call them the angels of Bataan.
Okay, the
The
angels
angels.
of, well,
Bataan.
because they,
They were on Bataan. They were on Bataan first, you know.
yeah,
And then they took them off when they heard it was going to surrender, you know.
right,
They took them off and brought them over to Corregidor. That's when General Wainwright, too.
yes,
I mean, General MacArthur.
yes,
But he got into this pig boat, you know, and took off
right.
with the pig boat.
How did you feel about that? Did you feel that it was okay because he was needed to command, or did you resent the fact that he got away and you had to stay there?
I resented it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think he was an asshole.
Did most of your friends feel the same way?
Yeah.
They did? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Curious about that. There seems to be very
Old
strong.
Truman got on his butt,
I
too.
guess he did, didn't he? Yeah. I guess you smiled about that one. Now, you had a pretty rough walk. I mean, I don't
Oh,
know
that's
if I would call it a
monstrous.
walk. I would call it an ordeal on foot. How do you feel about walking nowadays?
I don't
Did it
walk
affect
much.
it?
You know, he walks every day.
Yeah.
Huh.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, see, he
Well-
rode a Jeep through the war, and you walked up that tortuous road. So
Yeah.
from Jeep to walking with him, and from walking to Jeep for you. I think that's a fair trade.
I
Guys-
should walk. They tell me I should
You're
walk.
inside your little compound with your other prisoners of war, the other POWs.
When I go to
What did you guys talk
convention.
about? What, did you talk about home? Did you talk about food? Did you talk about women?
Yeah. Well, mostly food, you know.
Fish eyes, sound about
You
like
ever
it.
talk to any of your fellow POWs? Do any of you still communicate?
Yeah, there's one. Well, I was with his brother,
Yeah.
Johnny Toke from Massachusetts, and he keeps coming. He writing a book. He wrote a book about what was going on. His brother was in my outfit, Johnny Tokars. We were the best buddies there too. And
Did you both
He
make
just-
it?
yeah, he made it, but he was. He told me the Japanese were after him all the time. He had it in his mind. His Japanese are still after me. I said, Johnny, we're in America now. You don't have to worry about them. If you see a Jap, kill him. He said, you know what he did? Well, he got married to another. He was Polish,
Yes.
and he ran a big cement bridge there. She said his wife said that he ran right into that bridge and killed himself. Johnny.
You think it was
his
suicide?
brother, yeah, and now his brother's writing a book, wrote a book about him, and he's always asking me.
How old was he at the time?
He was a couple of years younger than I was.
Yeah.
He didn't go to school. That's another thing when we were in the Army. He didn't go to school, and he didn't like that. He resented that. They had the CCCs at that time,
Yes.
yeah, civilian,
Conservation Corps.
yeah, they had that at that time.
Mhm.
I went to the CMTC. You ever heard that one?
I don't think so.
Citizens Military Training. Right?
No, I didn't know that
Yeah,
one.
at the 1 month in July.
Mhm.
Your high school teacher had to recommend you to go there.
Oh, okay.
And I could have been an officer when I graduated out of there. I think. But I never followed up the 10th series.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could have gone into the service, but I would have been in the infantry,
Mhm.
and I didn't want the infantry.
No, why go in the infantry when you can get a nice plush job over in the Philippines, huh?
Yeah.
How about you, Jeff? Are you active with any kind of veterans group?
The 291st engineers, we meet every year. And there's about maybe 35 of us left that come get together.
Jeff, thanks a lot. This
Okay.
has been a great,
Yep, glad to do it.
Remember the war years and some of the bad things you went through, and if you can still laugh and you can still joke about it a little bit, hey, it must be true. You guys are part of the greatest generation, and I'm real proud to know you both. Put her there,
Like
put her
that.
there.
And this way too.
Oh, I don't know. Oh,
Just,
oh God. You're incredibly hip for a guy your age.
He is. He is.